Hello, and thank you for tuning in. You are tuned into Esoteric Guidance, and my name is Nehru. Good morning, subscribers, new listeners, and returning listeners. We are going to continue with uh, our What's Your Aura, and we're going to get into the last part of the colors, and then we're going to go into some more specific studies, okay, and how to recognize them. All right. So thank you so much again for tuning in. And so we're going to go ahead and continue. Our next color, we finished with turquoise yesterday, is orange. Okay. Orange auras represent the epitome of change. They invoke all things bold, new, and different, and carry the inspiration wherever they go. This is painted with strong universe manifestation powers. It seems as if by thinking something, they can create it in their reality. Orange auras often have high motivation and demand space in which to enact it. They they don't fear what most do. In fact, they run towards it full speed ahead. They they're and again we're dealing with the lighting in here. It's not good. I think it's actually something with the more than more than the lighting itself. I think it actually has something to do with the power coming into the RV that is not as powerful as it should be, or what have you, because the light is dim. It's not as bright. Um, so I'll pull the curtain back. That might be a metaphor for someone who needs to pull the curtain back, or the veil being rent into. Um, it seems as if by thinking something, they can create it in their reality. Orange auras often have high motivation and demand space in which to enact it. They don't fear what must be done. In fact, they run toward it full speed ahead. Their dogged ambition attracts the admiration of the multitudes. They are often challenging to interrupt, even though they may present themselves as being extremely transparent. This mysterious charisma is the way by which they are able to charm their dreams into reality. When orange auras don't feel in control of their ability to create, they can become anxious and intense. Over time, orange auras can feel angry and irritable in this situation, as this color is meant to keep moving through the energy field of the universe and not experience a lot of stagnation. Therefore, people with this aura color tend to have many projects running at once and are often the center of multiple influential social circles. Orange auras are very concerned with how others perceive them, almost to the point of focused obsession. Those carrying the orange aura are detail oriented, prefer to work alone, like to be in charge, and are creative problem solvers. And again, I resonate with a lot of this. Again, as parts of you resonate with all of these colors and the ones that we'll speak of moving forward. Um, so, uh, in many cases, I prefer to work alone, but I have no issue working in teams, or with a partner or what have you. Um, they most certainly need to understand me, my energy, my spiritual essence, and what I bring to the table. This helps to um, eliminate or minimize the headbutting. Okay, so it's difficult to have two masculine energies work together. This is the situation that we saw on full display in 2004 between Kobe Bryant and Shaquille O'Neal. Two masculine energies. So both of them being leaders, both of them feeling as though it's their team, both of them feeling like. So in that situation, it would have been better for Jerry West to get someone partnered up with Kobe Bryant once Shaquille O'Neal left, or even prior to even bringing him on. It would have been better to pick someone else. And I'm going to think of player who is a leader when they needed to be, but they were not a masculine dominant type of energy, like a Chris Webber, okay, or a Tim Duncan, okay. They they lead when they need to, and they lead in the ways that they know that they take care of their portion of whatever the responsibility and leadership that they should. Okay, also a Grant Hill. Okay, so these types of individuals, you can see their personalities. They're very soft. They're very, very, very compassionate type of energies. Okay, these individuals, and I don't know if they're divine feminine energies or not. I don't know what they are. Okay, but in watching them back then, I actually paid attention to basketball a little bit, um, and so and then having watched them in college and all that sort of thing as well. So it would have been better for Jerry West to bring someone like that on board as opposed to someone like Shaquille O'Neal, who really did need their own team because he is a masculine, he is a he's a dominantly masculine individual. Okay. No, sit down. I'll do it. No, I'll do it. No, I'll do it. No, like he's just that way. Okay. And so is Kobe Bryant. Okay. And so dealing with both of those two energies, you're going to run into issues. So again, partnerships are not an issue for me as long as that individual understands what I come with, all that I come with. Okay. And the master of whatever it is that I am. I am a jack of many trades and a master of a few. Okay. And mainly of myself. All right. Hopefully, again, you can say the same for you. Okay. Um, Key traits: focused, enigmatic, and energetic. Aligned jobs are entrepreneur, business development specialist, and investor. Preferred fitness activities are being busy and cardio. Capable romantic partners are compatible. They need to be capable. Excuse me. People who share in their vision and support it fully. They get along very well with indigo and blue auras. Biggest concern is naysayers. Okay. All right, so we're going to get into some additional aura colors here. So the 9 aura colors of red, blue, yellow, purple, green, indigo, pink, turquoise, and orange in combinations of 2 or 3 make up most auras. There are also additional aura colors that can make up an appearance to create nuanced messages for the person who wears them and for those who can see and interpret them. Okay, so some additional colors are brown. Brown auras are down to earth people who crave self sufficiency, clean living, and personal responsibility. This color is the aura often this color in the aura often reveals a strong yet stubborn adherence to strict personal principles, typically found with the green aura color. It can highlight a resistance to outside perspectives regarding the choices one has already made. Okay. Tan aura. Tan auras are hardworking individuals who have temporarily conceded about progressing or changing their mind. This color in the aura shows a sort of elective pause on the development of new ideas and opportunities that would shift focus off the task at hand. Often found with yellow and green aura colors, it can reiterate a need to stick to the basics and not get too creative in looking for solutions in life. Silver auras, incredibly intuitive and high vibrational people who see beyond the limits of human life and seek wisdom in the worlds beyond their own. This color in the aura signifies a pursuit of wisdom that can help humanity as a whole. People with this color often have interests in science, energy, and astronomy. Gold aura color, spiritual teachers who have been deemed ambassadors of high vibrational messages. People with this color in their aura are often selfless leaders, willing to throw their lives on the line for the ideals they value. I am one who'd be willing to die for what I believe in, for what I stand for today. The need for change that I see both in the systemic racism here in the US and using black and white. Also along with that is the protection of children. Okay. Also along with that are the statutes and things that stipulate a certain amount of time needs to pass before police officers go looking for someone. Also, restraining orders. Restraining orders are bullshit. Okay, restraining orders don't do a goddamn thing, okay, except for file a piece of paper. That individual can walk right up to your door, pull out a gun or a machete, and take your head off. A restraining order is just bullshit. That's all a restraining order is, and it's a way for police officers and law enforcement to sweep shit under the rug until the individual shows up dead or someone gets a 911 call. Okay, we need to come up with a different system because that doesn't do any good. Okay? Gold auras also, they see a bigger picture that rests beyond the limits of an earthly timeline and their true work to be done in the ripple effects of their teachings and actions for years to come. White auras, pure and kind beings who are filled with unconditional love and an abundant amount of patience. This aura color usually surrounds young children and reappears when one becomes elderly. It signifies an understanding that the ethereal realms rest within us, and these people have the unique ability to interact with the realm as to bring it to those who have lost its touch. Rainbow aura, creative individuals who seek unity of the physical and spiritual planes. This color in the aura reflects an attachment to past lifetimes, not of a human nature, and the ability to transfer and channel lessons from other planes into human experience. Okay, the crystal aura, empathic people who bring the lessons of higher realms into human world. This color denotes strong connection with light forms not of human nature and a dedication to becoming an ambassador for the world free of fear and turmoil. Black aura. This rarely seen color forms when an individual's intensity has reached a toxic and unhealthy level. They see the world clearly, but only through the lens of an incredible pessimism and darkness. This color can be cleared up in the aura through one's attention to self-healing. So I want to point out something here. Okay? So when we take a look at the white aura and we take a look at the black aura, okay, so the black aura, it says it is pure and kind, beings who are filled with unconditional love and an abundant amount of patience. Okay. Black energy, rare energy, okay, when an individual's intensity has reached a toxic and unhealthy level. Okay. So, this is the exact reason why we need to get away from black and white people in America. Okay? Brown Americans, Caucasian Americans, European Americans, Irish Americans, just like there are Canadian Americans, Mexican Americans, Indian Americans, just like Shaquille O'Neal's face is on the echo right now. That's how ironic. And by the way, peace and comfort to the Bryant family, as the as Joseph Bryant, Joe Jellybean Bryant, passed on yesterday from a stroke, from what I understand. Okay. Um, and so we see here the contrast between black and white and how we have been pitted against each other. You see that. Okay. So the definitions here and descriptions are accurate. We just need to stop calling each other black and white. Okay. All right. So let's continue on to part 2. Let's see what part 2 is. It asks questions. I'm not going to go through those. Okay, how to see your aura. Okay, your aura does not have to be seen to be felt. Nevertheless, trying your hand at the methods described in this section can unlock deeply powerful abilities within you. You can practice these methods whenever you like and choose the ones that resonate most. Seeing auras is like working a muscle. The more you try to see an aura, the stronger the ability becomes. Visual methods. Visually seeing an aura is a function of the third eye. So your third eye must be open. You must activate your third eye. That is meditative practices where you are focused on the space between your eyebrows. Okay, that is where your third eye is located. Okay? So if this is not activated, you cannot see your aura. You cannot see your true self also, by the way. Visually seeing, in general, visually seeing this aura is a function of the third eye, and with much use and practice, this divine sight becomes as reliable as your physical sight. I trust my third eye far greater than I trust the two eyes that on either side of my nose. As you begin using these visual methods for seeing the aura, be patient with yourself, and you may find the images to be fuzzy and fleeting at first, but with consistent practice, they will strengthen into full visualizations. Okay? Awaken the third eye. Your third eye, located in the space between your eyebrows, provides a special way to see things. With this eye, you can see the intangible realms of the energetic and spiritual world around you, including auras. Children have an especially well-developed third eye and are adept at using it to engage with various forms of play, creativity, and imagination. With age, however, your third eye dims as societal norms reinforces the need to see with your physical eyes. Okay, so what are some karmic things? I was going to do a video on this. I don't know if I will. So some karmic things that parents say to their children. Kids are to be seen and not heard. That's a karmic statement that parents say to their kids. Okay. The world does not revolve around you. That's a karmic thing that parents say to their children. The world actually does revolve around them. It's 8:44 on the clock. The actual time. Okay, 87 degrees. Okay? You're a child. No one wants to hear what you say. You're a child. You don't know anything. These are karmic things that people say to children. Okay? All right. With age, however, your third eye dims as society reinforces the need to see with your physical eyes into the physical world, limiting your full visual capabilities. You may have a more developed third eye if you can easily visualize something that it is described to you, or if you are able to look at a room and instantly envision it with a new coat of paint. Of course, anyone can regain the strength of their third eye with an awakening practice. Over time, using your third eye enables you to trust it just as you do your physical eyes. Okay. I did not realize this before coming into my spiritual awakening and learning about the third eye and the crown chakra and the other chakras. We have 114 of them. However, that is how, through imagination, is how I've been manifesting since the beginning. Okay. And so I've manifested a kidney on that happened on 7/7 of 17. Today is 7/17. Okay. I manifested vehicles that I've wanted. I did not lie, cheat, and steal to get them. I imagined myself in them. And by imagining myself in them and enjoying the feeling of what it was going to be like to have them, I've had them. I will admit I've definitely had cars that I should not have purchased. I once purchased a car that I drove off the lot, parked it at the house, and it did not run for a year and a half because I did not need that car. It just sat in the driveway. And in fact, when I moved, I had to have it towed to the new place. Okay. It never did run. All right. So, and there was nothing wrong with the car. It had 76,000 miles or something on it. It was 46,000 miles or something. It was a very considerably low miles for a car that would not run. It would not run no matter what. We siphoned gas. We did all sorts of things, to get that car to run. Me and my friend Jason, at Fort Bragg in North Carolina. Right, it just would not, because it wasn't meant. I didn't need it. Okay, so. But I have come to realize that is how, in my imagination, I can tell you, being a creative type of spirit. So I oil paint, acrylic painting. Um, Also, I play a couple of instruments, musical instruments and things. Also, a creative cook in a way. And I love like dealing with the seasonings and the herbs and the marinades and things like that is what I enjoy doing. What I don't enjoy doing is making the plate pretty. I don't enjoy that part because I don't know. I don't know. For some reason, I don't know. I don't value the presentation part of that, I guess. Also, as a side note, just for me, again, whatever I share, any names, times, numbers, anything that I say might be pertinent for you and your journey. Um, and so even when I'm dealing with myself, I take on that perspective. Like, it doesn't matter as long as it gets the job done. Okay, so um, I used to work out heavily 4 or 5 days a week. Okay, and I would take protein shakes. Okay, it never did matter. I remember when I started taking protein shakes, I was probably a teenager. I or at least supplements, maybe not shakes, maybe it was supplements of some type of health pill or something along those lines. And in fact, Kevin, the sperm donor, gave me, it was like a pack. It was like a health pack or something, and it had like 5 different some things, and then maybe like ashwagandha and something like that. He would give these to me when I started working out using his weights in the basement in Bolingbrook, Illinois. And I was 11, 12 years old. Okay. Um, and I've never minded what it tasted like. It was never significant to me what the shakes tasted like. And back then, they were horrible. I will tell you that. They did not taste good. All right, it was very chalky, it was bad. You know, you go back to the 80s, right? Um, and so today, I mean, they're amazing. I mean, you just strawberry and fruity pebbles, and you get all kind of amazing flavors today. It was not like that back then. But I never did mind what those tasted like. And that's how I am with myself in life. I don't care what it is that I'm going through. I don't care what it is I have to take, whether spiritually or the work that I have to do, as long as it works, as long as it gets the job done. I don't care what it tastes like as long as it gets the job done. Okay? And with that also, the one thing that it cannot do or is a challenge is if it smells bad. Okay? So if something smells bad, then that no, right? So that is the one thing that I guess yeah. So anyway, be patient with yourself throughout this practice. It can take time to clear the fog from your third eye after years of not using it. The first step is to simply bring awareness to your third eye chakra and mindful wonder. Observing the beauty of the world and taking time to notice its nuances is how you nudge the third eye back into its power. Contemplating art instead of just walking by it, attention to paying attention to a garden's flowers, or noticing the brightness of the embroidered details of a sweater. These are simple ways to bring about your third eye's awakening. Once you have practiced this, you are ready for a more focused awakening following these five steps. Sit quietly and breathe calmly in through your nose and out through your mouth, preferably with your physical eyes closed. You may want to place a crystal on your third eye space, okay? And that could be any number of crystals. So you could use quartz, right? Clear quartz. You could use tiger's eye, and I'm naming things that I use. You could use tiger's eye. You could use amethyst. You could use onyx. You could use ruby, okay? Sapphire, okay? You can use any number of these crystals, okay, to help you open up your third eye or activate your third eye. You may want to place the crystal on your third eye space, or you may wish to press the area with your finger as you breathe, okay? And so that practice, if you take what I do is I take my index finger and my pointing finger, and I hold them firmly between my eyebrows, okay, for 30 seconds, 30 seconds. Number 2, while continuing to breathe, let the visions flow. Okay, and you imagine you close with your eyes closed, you imagine yourself. So again, you focus on looking through that space between your eyebrows. Okay? Number 3, as the visions flow, ask yourself questions about what you are seeing. Be observational rather than active or judgmental in your visions. As your visions become harder to maintain, allow yourself to gradually end the exercise. Come back to an awareness of your physical surroundings when you are ready. This practice will get easier in time as your third eye strengthens. My third eye right now is like is going, and I only just touched it for a moment. I touched it I was physically illustrating, even though you can't see me. This practice will get easier in time as your third eye strengthens. Since this is a foundational activity for being able to see auras, be sure to practice this as often as possible, or meditate as often as possible. And I would say daily. a couple of times. If nothing else, when you rise, when your physical body rises, your spirit wakes your body, and when your spirit is ready to have your physical body lay down at night. Okay? Seeing an aura on yourself and others. You can do this. You can do this aura viewing activity either on yourself or a willing participant. If it is a participant, have them sit in front of a blank white background. If it's you, do the same but facing a mirror. Once you and the other person is seated, create a distinction between your physical eyes and your third eye. The physical eyes need to be defocused and or made to be blurry. You can do this by staring until you see nothing in particular, just blurriness all around you. Point this gaze at the top of the other person's head or the top of your forehead in the mirror. As you stare, you may see their borders begin to get fuzzy. Then you may see an ethereal white color emerge from them or your reflection. This is the first layer of the aura. The longer you hold the stare, you may begin to see other colors emerge and grow. Over time, and with patience, you'll be able to hold your gaze longer and longer so as to see the aura with more clarity. Okay. And yeah, I think we'll go ahead and stop there. The one thing that I will mention about this is back in 2002, I was dating my friend Marcia. She passed on 1/28 of 2020, 2 days after the helicopter crash that stopped the physical existence of Kobe Bryant, Gianna Bryant, and 7 other individuals. She was birthed on, by the way, she was birthed on 9/27. Okay, that's a 999. Okay, and she was born in 67. Okay, 67, 76 might be important. My brother, who passed at 45 in 2021, was born in 76. Okay, that's a 13. But what I was going to say is, when I was in military intelligence school at Fort Huachuca, Arizona, 22 years ago, 22 might be important, we were at a restaurant somewhere in Sierra Vista, and she asked me if I could see her angel. And I did, and there was this tall purple, this big purple figure, okay? And I told her what the deity was wearing and all of that, and she concurred. And yeah, so, and again, I did not even know a fraction of what I know today. Okay? Excuse me, it was 33:44 on the timer. And that confirmation burp. I did not know anything about spiritual anything. She was brought into my life to show me what a relationship with highest divine white light could be. When I met her, she called herself God's girl. Okay? And before she passed, she also started dialysis in 2013, as I did. She started 3 months after I did and was in the hospital for 88 days because hers was due not to a rare autoimmune virus that she was unaware of and that came upon her suddenly, like I was, such as I. But she was neglectful of her physical body. She was a diabetic, and she did not take care of herself. Okay? So we both ended up in the same situation, but for very different reasons. And again, that might be part of your story. Same situation, very different reasons for being in that situation. So one of the things that I continue to battle with myself in, and I say battle, I probably shouldn't say that, but I've recognized that there really is no true answer, is when it comes to, and you have to understand that I was raised by a polygamist. I have 16 brothers and 16 siblings, okay, 11 brothers and 5 sisters. And so I highly detest anyone who's unfaithful to their monogamous relationship, okay? Um, and one of the internal battles is why Highest Divine White Light allowed polygamy to happen amongst those he placed in leadership. Why was David allowed to continue to lead, and why was he not dethroned when he slept with Bathsheba and sent Uriah to war to be killed? Why was he not dethroned? Why was Solomon allowed to be king and still receive the wisdoms that he received? Why was he allowed to do that, and he has 700 plus wives? Why did Highest Divine White Light allow such bullshit? Okay, 3636 on the timer. Why did he allow that? Okay, I've read all kinds of explanations. None of them suffice. Truly, none of them. Okay, and I understand that those men in some way. So, for instance, David's child that he had with Bathsheba, I believe that child died. Okay, so, but again, Highest Divine White Light still allowed him to lead. Why? To me, that says that Highest Divine White Light condoned polygamy to a degree. Because otherwise, why wouldn't you just completely destroy him? My polygamist father right now is serving 40 to 60 years in a Michigan state prison for many of his deeds. I was part of the team that put him there in 2014, 10 years ago. Why is it that David, Abraham, Jacob had 4 wives and 12 sons of those four, from those 4 wives? We are going through the 12 patriarchs. Those are Jacob's sons. Okay? Why were these men allowed to lead with their decrepit ways? Why were they allowed to continue to lead? Okay? That is me being a perfectionist. That is me not understanding how I am called to where I'm called to. Okay? And they are called to where they're called to, and yet Highest Divine White Light holds us both in high regard. I don't understand that, and neither has Highest Divine White Light provided a clear-cut answer. Okay? The only answers that I have received are roundabout answers. Okay? So letting go of control of what you can't control. Okay? That's a roundabout answer. That's not a direct answer to the question. Okay? What else? Yeah. Any other answer is just a roundabout answer. Okay? So again, that's me in whatever aura I'm in my perfectionism or whatever, my seeking for the truth, the absolute truth, because I cannot support Abraham, Jacob, Isaac. I cannot support these polygamists, David. I do not spiritually support them. Okay? And neither do I, no more than I condone their actions today. Okay? I will not speak highly of these men, okay? Because if they did these things prior to them awakening, that's one thing. And prior to them receiving their crown, that's one thing. But they did not. They did these things after, okay? So it's like me or anyone else, you, okay? Becoming aware of yourself, your higher self, functioning in your highest, purest, truest form, and then going out and deciding that you want to have multiple women, or you're going to sleep with your handmaid or your servant or your maid, or your the waiter or the waitress or the whoever, the nanny or whatever, right? Yeah, I don't get that. Okay. So anyway, that's me again. That's part of me desiring to know, how do I present these men to the people? How do I how do I because again, I would not speak highly of these men today. Okay, and I don't. I look at these men in disgust. I do. Okay? 40/40 on the timer. All right? So thank you so much again, as always, for tuning in. This is Esoteric Guidance. My name is Nehru. If you would like to get in touch with me via email, my email address is theencourager333@gmail.com. I haven't said that in quite some time. That email address will be in the information section of the video. As always, thank you for tuning in, and tune in next time when we go over more of What's My Aura, book written by Mystic Michela. And as always, be encouraged.